Right, how's it going, guys? We're here for SPS week number 8, going up against the LA Rocks and Almighty Arceus. You can see his team in the bottom right there. Coco, Lucha, offensive core he got going on there. Then he's got Swampert, Bisharp, Volcarona, Gourgeist, Raichu, Alola for the Surge Surfer. Trying to take advantage of the electric terrain from Coco. Then you got Audino, Goodra, Cryogonal, and Weezing. Now, I don't want to be dramatic about this, but I really looked at this matchup, and from first glance, this seems like my hardest matchup that I've all that I can remember. This seems like the hardest matchup that I can remember. Alolan Raichu is a beast, and my best answer to it basically is just Electivire. Now, under Surge Surfer, he can. I mean, my immunities are Electivire and Diggersby. Diggersby can get surfed, and that'll do a lot of damage, or Focus Blast will just outright kill it. Dragapult, yeah, but at the same time, I'm pretty sure Alola Raichu gets Dark Pulse, but even then, a modest Life Orb, Rising Voltage, plus a Psychic probably knocks me out. I'd have to gander. And if he brings Psyshock, then he's going to do massive amounts to this Electivire. So, then you got Hawlucha, which, if he gets Sword Dance up with Electric Seed, I mean, there are very limited switches to them with that Pokemon, especially since Incineroar. What am I getting? Oh, sorry about that. Got a call. Especially since Incineroar cannot run Intimidate because Bisharp's Defiant. That'll just boost his attack. So, yeah, that's something to keep in mind. So yeah. That being said, let's go ahead and look at the team that I'm bringing. As far as I know, I mean, I'm battling, I think today, but I'm pretty sure. But I haven't really nailed down the team completely, so we'll look at it a little bit more. I've gotten some opinions from some people, so we'll keep looking over it. So, oh, and lastly, Volcarona is a huge threat. So, this is probably like the worst matchup Slowking could ever have. So, and I haven't really been using Slowking that much this season, which kind of sucks because I really wanted to use it. But yeah, this is just a horrible matchup for it. So, AV Electivire, going to be doing some good stuff here. Hopefully, this is our best switch into Raichu, in my opinion, as well as Coco. Coco can't run like the physical moves, so that's something to keep in mind. But Electivire is here to hopefully take on Coco and Raichu, that kind of thing. Because I think he brings both, and I do think he brings Hawlucha as well. And I can also take on Volcarona pretty well. I mean, I can switch in. Fire Dance will do like 20% to me, somewhere around there. And I can just Rock Slide it. The biggest thing about this is I have to make sure I don't switch into big hits, like maybe a Psyshock from Raichu. That would suck, even though this is my dedicated switch into Raichu. Or maybe, I don't know, if Coco is like banded and it goes for a U-turn and gets that hit off on me, that could be annoying. I don't see him running banded against me, but, it could happen, you never know. So yeah, Earthquake's also nice for like the Coco and Raichu, and then just Volt Switch is nice, and then Thunder Punch is for stab, just to hit Hawlucha if I need to. So that's the dealio with this mon. It's also decent for like Goodra, but Goodra can Earthquake me, so not too excited about that. And so yeah, next up we have Incineroar. Defensive Incineroar. I have 4 EVs and speed for Weezing, I think. No, Swampert. That's right, Swampert. Not that I'll be staying in on Swampert anyway, most likely. But no boots this week. We have the Choppleberry, because I feel like if I'm able to keep rocks off the field, like boots just aren't going to be very useful. And his only real rocker is going to be Swampert. I know Bisharp can get rocks, but it probably won't run rocks. Bisharp's not really a stealth rocking mon. He'll probably want fighting coverage, which is going to take up a move slot, specifically for this Incineroar. So Swampert will probably come and he'll have the rocks. But if I can keep the rocks off the field with Defog Weezing, then I'll be good. And I can just use a Choppleberry. Choppleberry is really nice here because it can weaken a low kick from Bisharp, as well as a close combat from Hawlucha, which would be really annoying if I had to take that. So with the Choppleberry, Yawn. We can take it. We can fire off a fire punch or something like that. We can also knock off things, and we can parting shot things. So this is basically my dedicated switch into Bisharp because Bisharp is a huge threat. So that's nice, and it's also nice with the Choppleberry. But yeah, I figured I needed something for. I was thinking about Tangela, but at the same time, Tangela would have to run Eviolite, whereas Incineroar I can run Choppleberry, so it can actually kind of do. It can halfway deal with Hawlucha if he's like weakened. I can Fire Punch it. Like I can stay in. Like if he maybe predicts a switch, I won't have to switch because I have the Choppleberry. So yeah, something to keep in mind. Again, no Intimidate because I don't want to give Bisharp a Defiant boost. Speaking of giving a free Defiant boost, we have Defog here on the Weezing. Shout out to Geek Yogurt. He gave me an interesting set here with it was Neutralizing Gas, Choice Scarf, Weezing to try to outspeed Hawlucha and Alola Raichu because both their abilities boost their speed, right? Like with Unburden and with Surge Surfer. So if I neutralize that with Neutralizing Gas and then I have Choice Scarf, I can outspeed him. I don't Oko Raichu, but I would Oko Hawlucha. Problem with that is that it's like if he runs any speed, well, not any speed. If he runs a good amount of speed on Hawlucha or Alolan Raichu, then I'll have to invest way too much speed in this Weezing to be able to outspeed, if I even can outspeed. And I'm not sure if Almighty Arceus actually does like speed creep things with his mons, because I've never seen his like pastes after a game, because he doesn't put them in the chat, which is fine. I mean, I understand that, but like I don't know, so I'd rather err on the side of caution. Whereas here I'm defensive. I have enough speed to outspeed a min speed Bisharp, or at least a Bisharp with no investment. And yeah, the rest is in defense, so I can take a hit from Hawlucha. Gonna risk the Strange Steam, 95% accurate. Hopefully we can land that. And yeah. Let's see, Toxic, really just there for Audino and probably Goodra. It's probably gonna wear down Goodra quicker than. Oh, I gotta reconnect. I'll just work on. Sorry about that. But yeah, I can probably just Toxic Goodra, Toxic Audino, Toxic the Gourgeist, and Flamethrower is nice for the Bisharp. We gotta really make sure we don't defog his Bisharp switches in. That would be awful. But at the same time, we do have to make sure rocks stay off the field for Incineroar. Next up we have, now this is a mon that I'm also not sure what I really want to do with. Infiltrator Sucker Punch ensures that a sub Raichu doesn't just sweep me. But just Sucker Punch in general, it's really nice here for that Raichu. And yeah, I can run Dragon Dance with the Fan of Force, Dragon Dart, Sucker Punch. Bisharp will not be able to Sucker Punch me if I Sucker Punch him first. So we're thinking, maybe but I had a mock where Dragon Darts did like half health to him at +2, which is really not fun. I have enough speed for Coco here, obviously. I might change this to a spec set. I'm not entirely sure yet. At the same time, if I run specs, I don't beat Audino or even Goodra, because Goodra, if it comes, it'll probably be like AV Spit F kind of thing. That's where I would run in this matchup, but just for the Tornadus, Slowking, Incineroar, like it still has like good coverage moves, right? But yeah, if he runs that, then I don't really do that much with the Draco, to be honest, or especially because I have to run Timid or Jolly because Coco's so damn fast. So yeah, and again, I don't know if he runs max speed. I don't know if he's that kind of player to just like run 252 on things. So yeah, that's about it. Again, this could change to specs. Not too sure yet. Copperjaw is nice for the Sucker Punch on Bisharp, or just a knockoff on Bisharp. Just in general, Dark type moves are annoying. So yeah, next up is Choice Banded Diggersby. Max HP, max attack. I don't need to speed creep anything because his team is already pretty fast with the Unburden, Lucha, and Surge Surfer Raichu. And those mons have good base speed anyway, so there's really nothing to outspeed here. Hopefully he doesn't run a lot of speed on Bisharp. I'm expecting just a max HP, max attack set. He might try to speed creep Diggersby, that's fine. But I do want to have a lot of bulk on this mon, because Choice Banded really does go in on his team. I mean, Earthquake just pounds his team. He's got what? He's got Gourgeist to switch in, And then he's got Levitate, Cryogonal, Levitate, Wheezing, and Flying type Holucha. There's only things to deal with Earthquake. I can Ice Punch the Holucha and the Gorgeist. Wheezing, I can't do much to. Cryogonal's like a piece of paper. It's so damn frail on the physical side, so it's fine. He's probably not going to bring it anyway. Wheezing, I guess, could come, but we have other things for that. And yeah, just having the U-turn. I might just lead with this Mon, but I might not. I might lead with my other Mon that I have in the back. We are yawning today. I probably should change this Dragapult to Choice Specs just because my last Mon here is Copperjaw and it's Choice Banded, so without any special attackers, he can just, like, Wheezing is going to be probably a threat. Defensively, and also Swampert could be a problem. So, but of course, last but not least, we have Copperjaw. Running Stealth Rocks on this Mon because I'm not Assault Vest this time. I'm Choice Banded. Heavy Metal, Heavy Slam. 2 KOs, I think, everything on his team. It's just ridiculous. Like, it's maybe not Wheezing, but I mean, yeah, it's crazy. Well, okay, other than Swampert, but Swampert I can Power Whip. So if I see Swampert, I might just lead with this Mon. And he'll probably think I'm trying to get rocks up, so he might just go for his own rocks or like a flip turn. But I can just Power Whip. He'll probably lead with rocks. He'll probably be fine with trading rocks with me. Because rocks kind of hurt my team more than they hurt him, especially because he'll probably run boots on Volcarona anyway. And then Heat Crash is just kind of nice for like Bisharp and Gorgeist. So, yeah, and then of course I have Stealth Rock just in case I'm able to, if I know I'm forcing a switch like against Coco or something, or like Audino or Cryogonal, something like that, I can just go for the Stealth Rocks. But it's very rare. It's very rare that I'm not just clicking either Power Whip or Heavy Slam in this matchup. So, yeah, that's gonna be the team. Again, a little bit of tinkering around to do, but I wanted to get this video or this team build recorded. So I don't have to do it later. So thank you guys for watching. I'm gonna cut to the battle. I know this is a little bit longer, but yeah, I just don't like this matchup at all. So hopefully we can still pull out the dub. So yeah, thanks for watching. I'll cut here and wish me luck. Alright, here we are with the battle, going up against the LA Lycanrocs and Almighty Arceus. He has a team of Swampert, Holucha, Tapu Koko, Bisharp, Cryogonal, and Volcarona. So, did not bring Audino, Wheezing, Alola, and 2 other Mons. Hold on, I can find out. Gorgeist or Gudra. So, you know, a lot of the Mons that I wasn't really prepping for, he didn't bring, but he also did bring the Cryogonal, which I didn't really think about and prep, to be honest. We have Copperjaw, so it's fine. So yeah, look at the matchup. I'm just going to lead with Copperjaw, and I'm expecting a Swampert lead. So let's go ahead and start the battle right now. So as I predict, he does lead Swampert, and in my mocks, I'm like, all right, he's just going to go for rocks here, but or even if he EQs, he won't kill. But he turns out to be banded, adamant banded. He knocks me out. I Power Whip that turn, so I would have killed him. So that really sucks. But I go into Wheezing, and I just fire off a Strange Steam because I'm pretty sure he's going to go into Bisharp, but I don't want a Flamethrower predicting that. So I go into my Blaze Incineroar, and I go for the party. He goes for Iron Head, reveals to me he's adamant with like no item, like no band or life orb. So I Parting Shot. This whole game I'm going for Parting Shot, not thinking that the Parting Shot is going to give Bisharp a free +3 attack because it's lowering his stats, which is going to boost his attack. It'll give him a +3 in total, and which is kind of ironic because I brought Blaze Incineroar specifically to not give him a Defiant boost, but never mind that. Skip a few turns later, he shows off Cryogonal. I get Toxic as I switch into Incineroar on the Cryogonal. And then he's going to bring it in again. I'm calcing, and even uninvested Ice Beam does like too much, like 40% to me, and I don't want to take that much damage. But I didn't do the calc until after this turn. So I stay and go for Flamethrower see what he wants to do. And now he's going to switch into Swampert as I switch into Electivire, predicting like an Ice Beam or something. That doesn't go well, so I have to go back into Wheezing. And this damage confirmed to me that he was Adamant Banded, so something to keep in mind. As he gets a free switch into Bisharp, which sucks. I have to bring out Incineroar because it's my only switch in. I was really expecting like a knockoff at some point because it does a little bit more than Iron Head, and that's going to actually kind of come into play later. But I'm just going to click, again, clicking Pointing Shot when if he stays in, he's going to get a +3 boost in attack, and that would be really, really, really bad. So, yeah, I go into Diggersby and I click U-turn. As probably should have done that last time he switched into Swampert, and I Parting Shotted it. I probably should have done that last time, but anyway, I have to switch out of Palafia once again because Bisharp's in. As I'm able to go into Incineroar, he goes for Iron Head yet again, and yet again I'm going to click Parting Shot. So that's, I don't know, like the third chance he's had that he could have just killed me, like swept me. But and all the while I'm not seeing that. So I go for U-turn here, expecting him to expect an Earthquake and going to either Holochit or Cryogonal. I got a crit there. I don't really think that crit mattered, honestly. I think I still kill him because Cryogonal has shit bulk. But even then, I mean, the game's rewarding me for a great play, and and not going for Earthquake. Because if I went for Earthquake, it would have been bad because I would have been locked into it. So here's a huge thing. I go into Incineroar as he clicks Iron Head. Then I'm going to predict him to stay in, and he doesn't stay in, but he goes into Swampert. I'm just going to click Knock Off here, do as much damage as I can, and he goes for Stealth Rocks. Now, if I go for Parting Shot there and go into Wheezing, and he goes for Stealth Rocks, his Choice Band is still going to be on him, because I wouldn't have knocked it off, and then he would have been locked into Stealth Rocks. I could have just defogged. But that does not happen, so my Incineroar dies to Rocks. I go into Swampert and just knock it out with U-turn. So it's 4-4 here, but he's got the momentum because I U-turned and I gotta bring in what is it? Dragapult. So I go for Phantom Force as he goes for Dazzling Gleam, and then he brings out Bisharp. I'm surprised he didn't just stay in because he would have lived it and he could have killed me with Dazzling Gleam. But now I get to play around with this Bisharp a little bit. He goes for Sucker Punch. I have the Colbert Berry, and then I go for Dragon Darts. Yeah, this is a set that I changed, so I'll talk about that after the game, I guess. I'm not re-recording this. Then I go for Sucker Punch, expecting him to use Sucker Punch. So now it's like a 50-50, and I'm going to predict him to go for Knockoff, but he actually switches into Volcarona here. So I get a Dragon Darts off, I do a lot of damage. So now I'm going to go for it again as he brings in Bisharp to basically sack it. So Bisharp is now gone. You don't have to worry about that mon anymore. He goes into Coco as I click Shadow Force, which is the obvious play. He doubles into Volcarona, which is interesting. If he goes into Hawlucha there and sets up a Swords Dance, I'm in a bad position because that does even less than Dragon Darts. So nonetheless, he sacks off Volcarona, gets the free switch in, and of course he has the Electric Seed. Now he's going to Swords Dance as I click Dragon Darts. He's trying to do as much damage to put this thing in range of Diggersby. I do about half, and now I'm going to Sucker Punch, expecting him to not want to take that much damage there. I can do a little bit of chip, but still it's looking like I can't knock him out because of the +1 defense, so I bring in the Electivire, and then I double into Wheezing, expecting a close combat. If he has Drain Punch, it's just over at this point, but luckily he does not have Drain Punch, he has the close combat, so that brings his defense back to neutral. Which now is going to allow Diggersby to knock him out with Quick Attack. So, yeah, I'm going to be able to do that. He can't switch into Tapu Koko because Quick Attack will 2 KO, and even if it doesn't, even if he's got like a lot of bulk, I can just play around with the Electivire switches. So he does let me knock out the Holocha with the Quick Attack there. I go into Electivire here just to try to get a little bit more differential. He goes for Dazzling Gleam as he gets a crit, but luckily I'm AV, so I'm going to be able to live another one. And then I go for Earthquake to 70%. Here I'm going to switch into Diggersby to preserve the differential to get a 2K or to get a 2-0 instead of a 1-0, which was pretty stupid because if he gets like a high roll crit there, then I just lose because then he kills Diggersby and Electivire switches back in and dies to rocks. So it was probably a stupid play there. And I said that in the chat at the end. I'm like, I shouldn't have done that. Why did I do that? It's not worth 1 differential to risk getting critted and then losing that game, which, I mean, from turn 1 was just against me. And there's so many ways I could have lost this game that it's kind of crazy that I won. I mean, you know, hats off to Arceus bringing Almighty Arceus bringing the banded Swampert. That thing was an issue, and I mean, if he stays in against my Incineroar 1 time with Bisharp, then you know it's basically over. And I didn't even realize that. Like, usually, like, oh my goodness, I don't know. This game is still raw for me. I had the battle like, I don't know, like half an hour ago or so, and it was, I don't know, it was pretty crazy. To just be like, to just slowly realize at the end of the game, like after the game, how many times I could have just lost. Like, this was just such a thin margin game, and I'm glad I pulled it off. I really am, because I'm pretty sure this loss will knock him out of playoff contention, which is good because I don't want to face this team again. With a new and improved Almighty Arceus coach. So yeah, a little bit about the team because I forgot to mention it in the beginning. I changed Weezing's. Wait. I don't remember what I actually had in the team builder. But I did have my Dragapult was Dragon Dance. Here it was Dragon Dance with Phantom Force, Dragon Darts, and Sucker Punch. With a Culpa Berry instead of Specs. I had Specs for a while, but then I changed it. So I don't know what was on the team builder, but yeah. And then Galarian Weezing had Flamethrower instead of Haze, which was basically the only difference, I think. Yeah. But I think that was on the team. I don't quite remember. But anyway, those are the only 2 differences. Everything else was the same the whole time. A little bit disappointing how we couldn't get Copperjaw to do anything, because, man, Heavy Slam would have done a lot of work to this team. It really would have. So that's unfortunate, but nonetheless, we got the 2-0 win. Gonna move on to next week. Next week is the last week of the regular season. This win basically solidified us in the playoffs. We're 6-2. Next week we go up against Nintago Foxo, something like that. So that should be a good game. But thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.